Welcome back to the Jacked Racing YouTube channel, and welcome back to New Smyrna Speedway. We're here for the testing day at the World Series. Can't wait to get this thing on the track. We've been waiting for a long time to take it out on this big track. This is such a cool event to be at. There are so many cars here. We had to sit in line for a long time to get in, but that's a good thing that there's so many cars. There's probably at least 200, 250 cars at this event right now of all different types. It's like race car heaven for short track fans. We're about to get ready to go here. We're gonna get a couple of final checks done on the truck, you know, all the safety checks we do before a race. We're going to check the tires, make sure they're all good, get our setup right, write everything down. I might have to see about going through tech. Yeah, we're pretty much ready to go. We were ready to go last night, which never actually happens. Usually it's a scramble the day of, and I'm glad it wasn't because we needed all the time once we got here to wait in line. So we're going to get ready to go. I'm going to get some cameras mounted up. We'll get ready to take this thing out for the first try on the big track. Obviously today's just practice, so there's not any racing going on, but my goals for today are to just learn the truck here. I want to get comfortable in it. If we can start making setup improvements, that would be great. I think we're going to be a lot closer today than we were at Auburndale a couple weeks ago when we tried that out. Everything on the scales checked out well yesterday, so as long as I can learn today, that's the biggest thing, just learn. I want to learn this track, learn how to get the truck, you know, driving relatively well so I can not be a hazard on the first night out of racing next week. But if we can learn how to get maybe under 21 seconds, I think is my goal today. That'll at least get us kept up with the field. Anything else would be a bonus on top of that. We made it through the first round. It is definitely different than the front wheel drive, but it was a little easier to handle here than it was at Auburndale. I think the extra track length really helps to kind of make it a little more in control, maybe a little easier to control, I guess, but you just have more time to think, and I'm more familiar with this track. I know it's not quite the same as with the bomber car, but at least I kind of understand how this track works and what it feels like to be on the big track with the banking, so I think that helped me out a little bit. It actually handled pretty good. Better than when we went to Auburndale, no doubt. There's some little things we have to change. It doesn't want to track straight. Like going down the straightaway, it wants to kind of wiggle around. You might be able to see it on the camera, but it doesn't really go straight. So we got to figure that out. The brake bias is off too. There's way too much rear brake in it. When I hit the brakes, the back end just wants to come around. That one time going into turn one was a little close, and that was the culprit of that. I slid up the track, and all I was thinking was don't hit the wall on the first try. But we kept it off the wall. Everything's good. No harm done. It's a good learning experience. We should be able to get to go out again, maybe twice, definitely at least one more time though. So hopefully we can improve on that. I want to lose about 0.7 of a second to hit my goal today. So we'll see. We can't really make a whole lot of adjustments here, unfortunately, but maybe driving style alone will get me there. Another thing we figured out was there was too much camber in the right front. It was the tire temperatures were way off on the front there. So we're gonna take a little bit of camber out of it, and we're gonna check the toe too right now and see if that helps with the whole kind of squiggly deal we got going on here. Like I said, there's not much we can do at the track. Once we get it home for this week in between races, we'll have more time to look at it, but hopefully for now we can just do enough to make improvements on the next session.
Got it? Yeah. Hold on. Oh, okay. Okay, try it now. Well, that's one reason. You got zero toe.
Okay. You want to crank on that bar?
Yeah. How'd it feel?
Better.
A little more stable?
Yes, it went straight.
Yeah.
Could you tell?
Yeah.
Watching?
Yes.
What do the numbers say?
Now, you didn't have as good a lap time, but man, your lap times were consistent.
Were they?
Yeah.
What did I run?
Where?
Well, I got a transponder now.
Yeah, but I can show you what I timed in that too.
My left shoulder.
It was, that one I accidentally got 2 laps straight. Good. 21.8, 21.8, 21.8, 21.8, 21.9, 21.8.
It's going into the turns, I think, is where I'm losing my speed. It was a little better. I tried to grab it on the go, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
I think we need a little
was
more.
that better? Were the brakes better?
Yes. We need to just go more of that way.
Okay.
I'm going to put another turn in it.
Well, you want to go a full turn? It's up to you.
All right, the second round felt better. It wasn't a whole lot faster, but it was definitely more consistent. So I'm okay with that. You know, for the first time, just learning what's going on, we'll find the speed. We know how to find speed. We know a lot of good information about it now that we can take home and kind of look over and make some adjustments. There's definitely a couple of things right off the bat that we're going to be able to do this week that should hopefully get us at least a couple tenths of a second. So I don't think we're going to go out there and set any track records next week, but I think we're going to be just fine. Yes, very successful day. We're going to take it home. We got all week to work on it. We're going to come back tomorrow night and the next night to just hang out and watch. There's a lot of good racing going on here. If you're a short track racing fan, this is the place to be right now. That's going to wrap up this video though. Thanks for tuning in and checking out my first time at the track here. Definitely subscribe. We're going to have a lot of footage coming up the next couple weeks. Obviously, we got 2 races next week and then we got 2 weekends after that. So we got about 3 weekends in a row of racing here. So if you like checking this stuff out, definitely leave us a subscribe. I appreciate it a lot. It helps a small team out like us quite a bit. So thanks for checking us out. See you next time.